Now, what's going on, guys? Today we're back for another Motivational Monday, and today our video we're focusing on is probably one of the greatest minds in history and probably ever in this world. The late Stephen Hawking. There has been recently a film made about his life as well, so go check that out if you can. Yeah. Okay, so if for whatever reason you don't know, Stephen Hawking did have a early onset, slow progressing form of motor neuron disease, which he had pretty much for the majority of his life. I do believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And he was told he was going to die super early on, but he kept going. And this video, I think, it's pretty much the end of this video, actually, ironically, which has pretty much the best quotes in it about situations and life as a whole. So we're going to get into this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will obviously put the link down below as always, and I'll see you guys in a few.
Hello, can you hear me? I was born on January 8th, 1942, exactly 300 years after the death of Galileo. I had come to Cambridge to do cosmology, and cosmology I was determined to do. At that time, it became clear something was not quite right with me. I fell over and had great difficulty getting up again. I spent weeks in Bart's hospital and had many tests. They never actually told me what was wrong, but I guessed enough to know it was pretty bad. The doctor who diagnosed me washed his hands of me, and I never saw him again. He felt that there was nothing that could be done. At first I became depressed. I seemed to be getting worse pretty rapidly. There didn't seem any point working on my PhD, because I didn't know if I would live long enough to finish it. But then the condition developed more slowly, and I began to make progress in my work. After my expectations had been reduced to zero, every new day became a bonus, and I began to appreciate everything I did have. And there was also a young woman called Jane, whom I had met at a party. Getting engaged lifted my spirits. I began to work hard, and I enjoyed it. I decided to write a popular book. While I was writing it, I became critically ill with pneumonia and lost my voice due to a tracheotomy, but I kept putting a lot of effort into the book. I feel a sense of achievement that I have managed to make these contributions, despite having ALS. I have not allowed my disability to stop me doing most things. My motto is there are no boundaries. When we see the Earth from space, we see ourselves as a whole. We see the unity, and not the divisions. We are here together, and we need to live together, with tolerance and respect. We are all time travelers, journeying together into the future. But there are other challenges, other big questions which must be answered. How will we feed an ever-growing population? Provide clean water, generate renewable energy, prevent and cure disease, and slow down global climate change. I don't think we will survive another 1,000 years without escaping beyond our fragile planet. We must also continue to go into space for the future of humanity. We will better understand our place in the universe. So remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see, and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. And however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do, and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. While there's life, there is hope. Seize the moment. Act now. Be brave, be determined, overcome the odds. It can be done.
Alright, so early on in this video, one of the craziest things is the fact that the first doctor that diagnosed him, he says he wiped hands with him, so literally, that was it. He was done. He saw him once, told him his diagnosis, and then just left because he said there would be nothing that he could do for him. That's absolutely crazy. Like, he's a doctor as well. The fact that they've turned around and said, "Oh, there's nothing we can do for you," is mind-boggling. Like, that must be so hard to overcome or to hear yourself personally. He actually got to a point where his expectations were basically that he was probably going to be dead by the end of the day. So every day became a bonus to him. And I think in an aspect of life, that's how we should look at every day anyway. It should be a bonus. It should be an extra day. We should try and do what we can to the best of our abilities each and every day, because you just don't know. One of the biggest things we could take from this as well is the fact that he says he started to appreciate everything he did have. Instead of like dwelling on the stuff that he didn't have, like being able to move and all that stuff properly, he focused on what he did have, and he was thankful for what he did have. And I think that is another thing that we could do with focusing on a bit more. If we're thankful for what we do have compared to what we don't have, it's just a much more positive. We can give ourselves so much more of a positive vibe by focusing on the things we actually do have rather than focusing on the negative. Always try to focus on the positive if we can. I love the fact that him getting engaged lifted his spirit, so that actually helped him along, which does relate to the point of if you surround yourself with loved ones and people that you care for you equally, it does help in your life. I think one of the biggest things actually about this, or maybe the biggest thing, is that he says his motto is there are no boundaries, when physically he does actually face boundaries, but he overcomes those so-called boundaries, I guess you could put it like that. He finds a way to overcome them, so to him there are literally no boundaries. There are difficulties and challenges along the way, but he genuinely finds a way to get around anything that he comes across, or get over rather anything that he comes across. So he actually does believe that he has no boundaries, and I think that's the biggest thing, is the fact that his mindset alone has literally let him just go and do anything that he wants to do. And I think that's something that we should all try and do, is just try and keep the positive mindset and have the thoughts that if we want something, go and get it. Why should there be a boundary stopping us? There is a way to do it. We just need to find that way. We need to grind. You just need to grind and put the effort into what you want to do. So one of the things he says in this, I'm going to take it as a quote, is look up at the stars, not down at your feet. And then he continues to say, be curious. I think they go hand in hand. Be curious, look up, look about, into the stars, look into your dreams. Be curious, go and search, go and find, go and look. Be determined. Be determined to be curious. Be determined to look up at the stars instead of down at your feet. Let your imagination flow. The main thing is that you don't give up. And I think I've stressed this before in a few videos, I think. But as long as you keep going, there's always a chance that you will get to where you want to get to. If you stop and you give up, there's zero chance. As long as you keep striving forwards or keep trying, there's at least that 1% chance more. As long as you keep trying, there is always a chance that it's going to happen. If you give up, then you've admitted that you failed and you just don't want to do it. It's not even that you failed, you've just admitted that you've stopped. You've stopped caring, you've stopped wanting to do it. If you give up, you're stopping yourself. Don't give up, and you will always stand a chance. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a thumbs up down below. And if there's anything you'd like to add, put the comments down below. Anything else down below. We're good. I'll see you guys next Monday. Enjoy your week.
So remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see, and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. And however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. While there's life, there is hope. Seize the moment. Act now. Be brave. Be determined. Overcome the odds. It can be done.